Back at home, feeling misunderstood, and between these ears ain't nothing good.
What we actually wanted to get to, and that's we had some chaos already, but Illinois, man, I put it in the outline as they threw their nuts on the table. If you've seen the episode of South Park where Randy smokes pot for testicular cancer and he's dragging his balls around in the wheelbarrow, that's what Illinois did. They went into, or was it at Michigan, or
it was at Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, they went into, I'll call it the Big House because that's just a better reference for the stadium. But they went into the Big House, dropped their nuts in the middle of the table, and were like, "Yeah, you guys aren't the best team in this conference."
Like I said, without Ayo Dosunmu, who is going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, boy, that team is good. Cockburn, yes, that's his last name. I'm not just saying that. That's his name. Cockburn, the center, is an absolute animal. He is one of the best big men in college basketball right now. And Illinois, man, they are going to be dangerous.
I mean, 20-6, number 3 ranked team in the country. You have some respect behind you when your record looks like that. You're jumping teams like, Michigan's still 19-3. Houston only has 3 losses. They're ahead of Iowa. That Big Ten tournament is just getting a little bit more interesting day by day. Ohio State still is. Have they kind of stopped their skid, or they?
It's just going to be where they're going to be placed at, because I feel like they're going to be a team that will probably be that 5 to 8 range, and they'll be a team that's a 12 that could be on upset watch. So that's where Ohio State is. They've kind of, like I said, they've kind of fallen off a little bit.
So who's your pick for the final in the Big Ten tournament?
Big Ten tournament. I think I'm gonna go with Illinois versus Iowa, because what we've seen from Luka Garza. I know I've been fucking up. I thought it was Luke Garza, but it's Luka Garza. What we've seen from Iowa now to then, like I said, come March, stars are born, and I think Luka Garza and Ayo Dosunmu are going to be stars in this rest of March. So I think that's where we're going to see the conference tournament. I don't know what the exact seeding is, because I believe Iowa is the 3 seed. I think Michigan's the 2 seed in the tournament, and Illinois is the 1 seed. But yeah, I think we could see that, because like I said, all 3 of those teams and 4 seeds you could throw in. Like I said, Ohio State in there too. Mm-hmm. They're gonna make noise. Throw Wisconsin in there. They're also a damn good team.
Purdue's in the top 25.
Purdue, exactly. Like I said, the Big Ten and the oh my God.
Big 12.
The Big 12, there we go. The Big 10 and the Big 12 all have teams that I think the national champions are going to come from one of those 2 conferences, because from 1 to 12, both those conferences are damn good.
No, I didn't think that. So let's talk a little bit about the SEC then, because this is a weird year for the SEC, especially in basketball. You got Alabama and Arkansas both.
Alabama's a basketball school now, Jimmy.
Hell. Oh. Everybody in Alabama just threw up. They're gonna go. They're gonna go poison tumors trees again.
They just realized Alabama's actually good at basketball. They haven't watched a damn game. I guarantee you that.
We have a basketball team?
Yeah, they're like, what the hell?
Why do we have a basketball team? We should use that money to invest in the football program. But they're, having a great season. Then Arkansas, I just listened to their coach on Pardon My Take, and I'm going to tell you, I'm a fan now. I think Arkansas has something going, and he has a cool. That's the culture that you bring in, and he's one of the college coaches that he's similar in my mind to Matt Campbell in college football at Iowa State, where he's going to a program that's not known for being good, but he's bringing in good talent. He's getting some good transfers every now and then, and they're competitive. They're always in the right spot, and they never get tired. They're trained to go all 40 minutes of a college basketball game plus overtime if they need to. I think out of the SEC, Alabama or Arkansas give you a little bit of pause late in the tournament?
I just don't know what to think of the SEC schools, because, like I said, all these schools don't give a damn about basketball. None of them do. Like unless your name's Kentucky and you're in the SEC, you don't care about basketball. That's just a fact of the matter. It is.
I'm surprised that they didn't move Kentucky to the Big East.
Exactly. So that's why I'm just so hesitant about them being contenders come late March. Do I think they probably get first, maybe Sweet 16, maybe Elite 8? I'll say yes, but I think that's maybe pushing it, because I think these other teams that have some conference experience, or tournament experience, that could make a lot of noise, I think have a slight edge over these teams. And that's no slight to what Alabama and Arkansas has done this year. It's just the fact of the matter is, all these kids are first or second year of the tournament.
They're used to being on the bubble for the NAT.
Exactly. So that's where it just gives me cause for hesitant. I do think it's going to be interesting how they're seated, where they're seated, and how it goes. Because Alabama right now is in contention for a number 1 seed.
Yeah, depending on how the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, depending on how the Big Ten tournament goes. So that could cause for chaos. So I'm just very interested to see Alabama. I don't know how good they're going to be, because I think they'll be, if they're a 1, 2, or 3 seed. Don't expect me to pick them over maybe a 7 seed or maybe a 3 seed, because I think they won't stack up to as much good as competition as everyone else.
Yeah, I think
an underdog, especially in the Big 12 or the Big 10, I think could beat Alabama. The 3rd or 4th team, like Kansas or
Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin would give Alabama and Arkansas everything that they want.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Wisconsin is having a down year, especially basketball wise. But is that going to be the conference championship matchup in the SEC, Alabama, Arkansas?
More than likely, unless Kentucky and Coach Calipari pulls something out of his ass. But besides that, yeah. So that's probably the matchup we'll see in the SEC championship.
Yeah, I had to get my Italian accent in there. Let's go now. We'll save Big 12 for the last one. So, ACC. We talked about Florida State. You don't think that they're for real. UNC made a big statement against Duke in their in-state rivalry. Not the same kind of in-state rivalry we were talking about. I mean, I watched the damn Zion, North Carolina game where the tickets were going for like $4,800 for the back row.
Nosebleeds, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that game. It's not the same rivalry that we're watching right now. But it could possibly end up meaning Coach K misses the tournament for the first time in 25 years. ACC-wise, do you think it's Virginia's conference tournament to lose?
Like I said, they're the lineal champions, quote-unquote lineal champions still. Virginia still is a great team. It has a lot of good coaching as well behind them. Mm-hmm. Virginia has just been there before. Florida State, I think they're a flash in the pan. Like I said, I don't think they win this conference. I think we see possibly a Virginia, North Carolina ACC championship. I think Virginia and North Carolina could easily be the ACC championship, and I think I'd take Virginia still.
Just for aspects of making sure that we stay on the network, Jim, I think Florida State's going to do very well. I don't think that they're a fraud.
You're not a basketball school.
No, they're not a basketball school.
You're not.
They're a baseball school. They're not even a football school anymore.
You're not even a football school anymore.
So ACC tournament is Virginia's to lose pretty much. Pac-12 wise, you got USC, Colorado sitting right at the back of the top 25. Tad Boyle's got the guys. This is a different Colorado team than we've seen moving towards the tournament. Normally they struggle at the end of the season. They didn't really do that. They kind of righted themselves. But they're one of those teams where you're talking about tournament experience. They have none. Mm-hmm. So what are you expecting to see from CU?
Well, look, CU right now is the only ranked team in the Pac-12. They're a 3 seed in the Pac-12 tournament, which I think is a cause for concern because you're going to be facing better teams earlier on. But I do think they could make a lot of noise. Like I said, the only teams that give me worry are UCLA. UCLA has a stigma behind them. USC's also been having a decent year. And Oregon, although they have a down year as well, they're always a team that you got to look out for the Pac-12. So
down year at 19-5 is not a bad thing.
Exactly. So CU, I do think they could win the conference. It would be huge for them because I don't think they maybe won a Big 12 tournament conference championship way back when, but I don't think we've ever won a Pac-12.
You want to talk about not a basketball school?
Yeah, not a basketball. CU is not a basketball school. No. But like I said, Tad Boyle's got those boys running. I'm excited. It'd be good to good for the state for Colorado to be back in the tournament. Yeah. CSU is on the bubble as well.
I was gonna say we can talk about CSU. They kind of shot themselves in the foot though, losing down the stretch.
It's true.
They basically made it. They have to win their conference tournament, and then they're still on the bubble.
But their conference tournament is not their conference is
the greatest. They could still. Because they lost to UNLV. That was their last loss, right? Which UNLV's. That's all they have is basketball. That makes sense.
UNLV is what you would call a basketball school.
Yeah, I mean, no offense by this, but I see UNLV and GCU as two. Basically, there's a Spider-Man meme where it's like, what, who, what? Yeah, that's how I see GCU and UNLV. But I think the Rams kind of made it difficult on themselves, but maybe that's a good thing because the tournament it's one and done. It's do or die and you don't really see that a lot in sports now. There's a lot of series. There's just a lot of other things. I think that's what draws people in for March Madness, too, is that one bad night, one off quarter, or not quarter, one off half, and you're done. Your season's over, and a lot of the times guys are leaving. Well, guys are leaving to the draft. So I think that's what makes that interesting. Now, rounding it out, let's talk about the Big 12.
Really, well, actually, hold on. Let's go whack first before the Big 12. Right. Got to talk about my whaction with the Lopes because so my old mater GCU, man, we were the number 1 seed going to the WAC tournament. The most important aspect to it all is that New Mexico State is a 3 seed. You want to know why that's a big thing? Because New Mexico State is the top dogs of this conference forever. Utah Valley is the number 2 seed, and GCU with the number 1 seed gets a bye. Because there's only 6 teams in the tournament. So you have GCU and Utah Valley get the first round bye. New Mexico State has to go through a tough game, and being able to not see New Mexico State until the championship round is going to be huge. GCU did just knocked off Utah Valley on Sunday, I believe. Yeah, it was either Sunday or Saturday to get out the GCU their first regular season WAC championship, which is huge for the program. And now the next step is get that conference bid. Get that, because like I said, you're not going to make the champion or make the tournament bid if you don't win your conference.
I'm about to ask if they could make it without it.
No, that's look. If Duke is on the bubble, there's no shot GCU makes it.
Please God, do not make Duke not winning the championship be the reason GCU doesn't make the tournament.
So, I mean, look, if GCU...
I don't want to have to deal with that. I love you, Nico, but that would be a lot.
It would be a lot to deal with, yeah. But yeah, GCU plays Friday, Saturday night. If we win Friday, play Saturday night. I'm hoping, man, I will be partying all weekend, enjoying Selection Sunday, and then watching GCU be a 12 seed and Florida State being a 5 seed. And boy, Jim, I will talk my shit like no other.
I do want to see that.
That would be a lot of fun.
There's a possibility that we have 2 Lopes on our March Madness bonus episode. If Jonah's able to come on, it'll be me, Jeremy, Jonah, and you. And that would be 2 GCU grads out of the 4 of us. I don't know what's going to happen. That's chaos. So be sure to tune in a couple weeks because that's going to be a lot of fun.
Exactly. Big 12 now.
No, let's go WCC. Is Gonzaga...
Gonzaga's not going to lose.
Okay, so now that we said that, let's go ahead and we'll double-check the score because it's going on. Actually, it's over. 78-55, they won.
Yeah, they're the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They're the number 1 seed.
They're still going to get the number 1 seed overall?
Yeah, they will. Okay. Just because they haven't lost.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why. Look, Gonzaga doesn't have as good of a schedule. It's just the fact of the matter is, but they've whooped every single team they put in front of them. And those preseason/early season tournaments, they still beat good teams. Although those teams weren't as developed as they are now, they still beat good teams.
All right, let's go to the Big 12. Baylor, obviously the favorite in this one, but there's a couple teams. I mean, I've heard a lot about Oklahoma State. Apparently, Oklahoma State has the projected number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Cade Cunningham is an absolute stud.
Is he playing in the postseason?
Yeah, he is.
Is he that good?
He is that good. Cade Cunningham is a stud. What they are doing at Oklahoma State, I know you're an Oklahoma State wrestling fan, so I'm sure you're enjoying that too. But look out for Oklahoma State. They could be a team that could surprise some people. Because like I said, when you get to the late March, it's those teams that have the star players. You gotta look at upset watches because those are teams that if that number 1 player is playing what his potential could be, they could be teams that knock off bigger teams in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, whatever it may be. So you gotta look out for Oklahoma State a lot with Cade Cunningham. From top to bottom, though, Baylor is damn good. What they are showing out night in night out, they are good. Coach Drew over there is doing a lot of good things with Baylor. The West Virginia game last week was an interesting one for sure. It went to overtime. But Baylor at full strength, and their only reason why they've been slipping up lately is because they had 25 days off because of COVID tracing. And that's basically restarting your season.
Yeah, I mean, we talked with Coach Schaefer about that. Starting and stopping is not easy to
Not ideal at all, especially in college basketball too, when you got to play a full schedule. And I mean, having 2.5, 3 weeks off is nothing at all easy. So I think they're just hitting their form. That's a team that should probably get a 1 seed, but I don't think they will. I think they may be still the number 1, 2 seed, if that makes any sense. The top 2 seed, there you go. But Baylor is going to make a lot of noise and be troublesome for anyone in their bracket.
Oklahoma State's seeming a lot like Oklahoma from a couple years ago with Trae Young. I don't. It's dangerous for me because those are my favorite teams to put money on or make them have deep runs in the tournament. But I got to defend my bracketology championship. So I got plenty of that to come up. So that'll be the end of this YouTube clip, and now we'll